Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Good morning. So, I got my favorite guy's chart up this morning. Mr. DJ, good morning. This is his yearly spread. Reason why I like to pull up his yearly spread all the time, because his yearly spread speaks for itself, like for real, for real. So I always pull up his spread when I'm gonna talk about him. So this thing yesterday, this what do you call it, rally? It's like Saturn is in Pisces, you guys. Like, there's no more hiding things. What you see is what you get. That is what you're getting. We're literally getting ready to go into a new cycle. Neptune is going to be starting at the zodiac, resetting. Neptune is the planet that rules the hidden, the secrets, the spirituality. All of that is going through a reset, a rebirth. It's getting ready to rebirth, right? And it's going to be newer and it's going to be better. What you don't know is that every time a planet transitions the whole entire zodiac, it has grown, it has learned, just like you. Every year you grow and you learn and you move on. Well, guess what? The planets, which are living beings too, they grow and they learn too, right? And their properties change. They change. So you have Neptune getting ready to meet Saturn, right? At the beginning of the zodiac. Saturn is the crystallizer. Saturn is there to make sure you learn your lessons, right? That's what Saturn is there for. So you have this spiritual planet about to meet with the Lord of Karma at the beginning of the zodiac very soon. That is the biggest indicator that what is not going to lead us to our higher place. Like, we got guardrails, basically. Guardrails, protection, a sandbox to begin anew. So being afraid to think that the universe is on our side and is not going to cast us into this space of deplorable conduct and everything else, that ain't it. Like, that ain't it. It's time to let go of that fear, like, and be like, yeah, we getting ready to go to greener pastures. And another thing, I've said this before. You know, I know you look around and you see, well, they're suffering here and they're suffering there and they're suffering there. There are different realities going on Earth. So the reality that someone has, totally honest, the reality that someone else has in what is it called? The Gaza, Palestine, even Israel, is not the same reality that people have in America, right? Think about things now as on a multi-dimensional frequency, right? That's why someone's suffering may not be someone else's suffering. May not be. And it may be. But we're on different dimensional frequencies. So I'm telling you the dimensional frequency of the northern hemisphere, the western, the Americas. Because you think when I say the United States, you think I'm just talking about the United States. That's just a microcosm of America. America actually consists of what? Canada, Mexico, Central America, and then even connects to South America and all of the islands in between. That is the Americas. And there was a reason why it was so important for the Easterners or the Europeans or even the Western Africans to get to the Americas. Why was it such a big deal to get to the Americas? Because the Americas is Atlantis. That is why. This place is special. It is a special point on this planet. It is a point in which you are going to evolve to the next level of being. And if you just sat down long enough and realized how much of an impact the Americas has made on the whole planet, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Everything that has come out of this age, which we're pointing to the Aquarian age, has been born in the Americas. Even the very technology that we're on, we like to look at Japan and China and Taiwan and all these other places like, oh, they're so smart, they're so elevated. But where did that stuff start? The Americas. It all began here. Right here. Every music genre that you can think of began right here. Hollywood began right here. If you just sat long enough and reflected on those things, then you would be able to understand that this place here is very special. Very special. What other place on earth has given birth to Michael Jackson, Beyonce, rock and roll, hip hop, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X? What other place in modern history? All within the last 100 years, which is not a long time. The equivalent of Amun-Ra, the equivalent of Hatshepsut, the equivalent of Cleopatra, all born here. It's no all sold their soul bullshit, because you can't sell your soul. Take that somewhere else. Don't follow me if that's your philosophy. Just block me. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm blocking folks. I don't even want to see or deal with you, and I don't want to give you the jewels I have to give you. We're talking positive stuff, and you want to revert it to negativity. I'm trying to bring you to a place where you can see how much we have contributed to the world, why we are so great. And if there's people out there talking about make America great, and they're not giving it up to the people who have actually made America great. That is the conversation of today. I'm tired of these negatrons. I'm tired of the sellouts. I'm tired of all of them. I tell my spirits every day, man, I don't even want to get up and talk about nothing. I don't want to uplift nothing. I don't want to do nothing because I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of these sellouts. I'm tired of them. But you know what? You know what Spirit told me this morning? And even my friend sitting here. You know what word she said? Revelation. She said revelation. You know what revelation is? Illumination. The light. Aquarius. The light. The awakener. This is enlightenment. What is the enlightenment? What is that about? That is being able to see people's true nature, true characters. Just like you got these gang members out here now talking about snitching and not snitching. Oh, I thought this was my friend, and then my friend turned me into this and da 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 da. This is going on all levels. You get to see who, when it all boils down to it, is gonna feed you to the dogs. Because of just to save themselves at that. You get to see that now. You get to not mistakenly marry somebody who does not have your interests at heart, who does not have your best interests at heart, who just wants to have you to serve them. You get to skip that part. You get to skip abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. You now get to skip that part. You can now press fast forward. So, is this a bad time or is this a great time? You know that they say what they said the last is a great and terrible. Because at the end of the day, nobody really wants to know the truth, because the truth means that you got to start crossing people off your Christmas list. Nobody wants to do that. I'm not one. I don't care if you're my cousin, my auntie, my uncle, my best friend. If I feel at any moment you would sell me and mine's out, you're blocked. Because leaders have to make difficult decisions. Leaders have to they can't please everybody. You can't come in while I'm trying to build up my community, right? And I'm trying to make sure mine is okay. You can't come to me and say, but what about the people over there? They're suffering. I don't know why they suffering. I know mine ain't. I know I'm going to do every damn thing in my power to make sure that the people in my immediate circumference are okay. That's it. Because those that seek to save the world but bypass the people that need help in their own community, in their own circumference, those are narcissists. That's called grandioseness. I am not grandiose. I'm practical. And I got to make sure that the ground beneath my feet are okay, is strong, before I can help anybody else. That's called being wise. I could say a prayer for you guys over there across the seas. I could say a prayer for y'all over here. But I got 8 kids most of them are adults that I gave birth to. And then I got kids that are connected to the kids of the people that I call my closest friends. And that's hard enough. to make sure that they're going to be okay. I've come up with solutions that I think can impact the entire world. I've gone to some of these fake ass, revolutionaries, internet revolutionaries, and gave them some of my solutions. And they've ignored me. So I did my part. And to be blunt, at this point, I don't give a you know what. My part is giving the solutions, doing what I can do, create the solutions. But guess what? You could lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. So I keeps it moving. I keeps it moving. Because I know that a lot of people on the internet are here to feed their egos, to make them feel better because somebody made them feel bad when they was a kid. Well, hell, plenty of people made me feel bad when I was a kid. Plenty. I had plenty of bullies. But I'm not going to take it out on y'all. I'm not going to try to extract happiness from y'all, because that's not where happiness comes from. That's not where love comes from. Love comes from within here. So all of this stuff is happening is to reveal who's who in your life. Who's who? Who's who? Because in a minute, you are going to have to find a home. You are going to have to find a real community. You are. Some of y'all live in a big ass city and still ain't community. You don't even commune with your neighbors. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to live amongst people who you got to wait until there's a whole ass disaster to get with. I don't want to be in that number. I don't want to be in the number of people that when the shit hits the fan, now we got to work together. I want to be ahead of the game, baby. And that's real. And you know, it's like, I'm glad they went to Madison Square Garden yesterday because New York is like #1 on my it list. And when I say it, I mean SHIT it list. I grew up there. That is a place that never, ever, ever made sense to me. Never. Because you know what really didn't make sense to me? The fact that we got a whole ass country with acres and acres and acres of green land, but we choose to live in the concrete jungle and talk shit about it and suffer at that. We're suffering. But it's okay to get a little welfare, get a little food stamps, get a little government assistance, get a little bit of this, and you feel good about being there. But it's a lie. Because you really don't feel good about being there. Unless you're rich. And then guess what? The rich people don't even be there all the time. That's their third and fourth home. They go there to shop. But their real home is somewhere where there's some green. And then you are willing to spend $4,000 for a closet. So, you know, honestly, so New York deserves a rally that happened yesterday. It deserves it. It really does. It deserves it. You deserve to stand online for 3 hours to see the same man that is barely even welcome in New York anymore, that has done more damage than any migrant. Y'all are full of shit. Full of shit. You can't blame the storms that are coming up on this country now on immigration. You can't blame it. You can't blame the total potential decimation of the coastlines and the people on it on immigration. Especially, and you go harder on the immigrants that's from the Americas. America. So, I think every so often I get mad. When you are Mars ruled, Mars is your ruling domicile, unfortunately, you get more work done when you're mad. You get more shit accomplished when you're mad. You do your greatest work when you're mad. So you get to sit in times like this and get stewy mad so that you make the decisions that you are destined to make in life. And I tell you, it could be no more madness than being told to your face, you're trash. But you're still going to vote for me. And guess what? If you don't vote for me, your cousin's going to vote for me. Half your family is trash. You might not. Maybe you ain't gonna vote for me, but your friend's gonna vote for me. Your cousin's gonna vote for me. That's some fire in the pot. So we're down to the nitty gritty. I did pull up Donald Trump's chart because I want to show it one more again. You see that little 6 on the top? That top represents how high you could get. And the 6 represents karma, blocking you from getting that high. So if you have a 6 of spades sitting at the pinnacle of the chart that you are on, every time you try to get to that pinnacle, you will be shot down if you have treated people bad. If you have talked bad and not have even asked for forgiveness, if you continue to do what you know is wrong, what everybody else knows is wrong, you will not reach that point. In fact, instead, you will get sick. You will be cursed. And don't mistake having a whole bunch of other sick and cursed people cheering you on as something good. And you see that other card on the other side? That's the side That's the politics side right there, right? And that's the 8 of spades. Do you know what the 8 of spades is? That is the card for number 47. You know what number 47 is? The 47th president of the United States. And you got a roadblock standing in the way of you getting that position. It's telling you can fight as hard as you want to. 8 of spades, you could do as many dirty tricks as you want to. That's fine. But you ain't gonna get it. You're not going to get it. And another thing, if you look, I'm kind of blocking it, but over to the side, that's the 3 of diamonds, that's Trump. He's sitting in the spot of the 9 of spades, which is his lifetime Neptune, the loser. This is a man that has always felt his whole entire life in secret that he was a big loser. He always felt that he was a loser. No matter, when you have a 9 of spades in Neptune, you must turn to spirituality, because you will never be satisfied with the material world. The material world will never be able to satisfy you. You will keep pushing the limits. You'll keep doing crazy shit, going as far as you possibly can go to get some satisfaction from the material world. You will not be given satisfaction of the material world. Your greatest satisfaction will come from doing good for people, or the spiritual world. Doing good for all people, no matter who they are, where they come from. That is where your satisfaction will come from. That is his lifetime Neptune, and that is his card right now. That's where he's sitting at right now. So it's like, hey, go ahead, keep on doing what you're doing. It's never going to bring you what you want. Never. So they're saying that there's evidence now that he planned his own assassination attempt, the first one. Right? They're saying that. And they're also saying that they're not going to let it out because people are afraid of the retribution of letting it out in case he wins, because he plans on making the presidency his own vengeance portal on everybody. But he's not going to win. But there are people that afraid. So my thoughts about that is, it's likely going to come out, but it's probably not going to come out before the election. It's likely going to come out after the election, and it is going to be the thing that sends him to prison. There's 2 places for him, prison and the other place. A lot of people, the other astrologers, are saying, oh, his astrology looks so great after, next year. Like, he's going to have his moment of what he's going to be known for. There's a thing called famous and infamous. Infamous is famous too. You could become infamous for being a serial killer, but you're still famous, right? But you're infamous. There's no difference. So just because his astrology looks like he's going to hit a very high moment and we know him, because he's going to be the first president to ever go to prison. That's it. We're going into a new time. And just like the theme of Kamala's run, we're not going back. I 100% agree with that. And if you're an astrologer, you should know that's true. Going back to my campsite.